Tom Morello is widely considered the last great innovator of the electric guitar. He turned it into a noise machine and gave us some of the most iconic rock tracks of the 90s. But he is also a self-proclaimed socialist revolutionary who has generated hundreds of millions of dollars for the global record industry. We love to talk about the riffs, but we rarely talk about the transaction. How does a man build a career on the backbone of shitting on capitalism while using the system's most efficient distribution channels to become part of the 1%? To really understand Tom Morello musically, you have to push aside the politics. By 1989, rock music was becoming bigger and grander. If you couldn't shred like Eddie Van Halen or fill up arenas, you didn't matter. Morello, a practice-obsessed student, hit a wall. He realized that he couldn't win the race, so he opted out entirely. Instead of being the best technically, he created a sound that was unique, with his signature kill switch and unchanging amp and pedal setup. He reconfigured the signal path to replicate the hard cuts of a DJ mixer. On his custom Arm the Homeless guitar, he isolated the pickup volumes, setting the neck to 0 and the bridge to 10, which allowed him to use the toggle switch to manually sever the audio circuit in a square wave. This technique, the kill switch, became the basis for the turntable scratch emulation on Bulls on Parade. He applied similar utility to foreign objects. Famously on People of the Sun, he bypassed the pick entirely, using an Allen wrench to grate against the strings and generate chaos. This matters because it reveals the architecture of his mind. He didn't feel his way to a new sound through a drug haze of the 90s. He engineered it. He created a constitution for his instrument, a strict set of rules, and forced innovation through sound. His rigid discipline is not a mistake, though. Morello is the son of a Kenyan diplomat who fought in an anti-imperial uprising against Britain. Tom graduated from Harvard with a degree in social studies. He didn't fit the profile of a chaotic, impulse-driven punk. He was rebelling against a political system through the very avenues of that system. The 90s alternative canon is defined by attrition. Icons like Cobain, Staley, Mark Lanigan are romanticized for their tragic arcs, but practically speaking, they were artists whose friction with the corporate machine resulted in fatalities. Morello operates as the sharp inverse. He treated his career with the logistical discipline of a campaign manager. His opposition to the status quo wasn't born from teenage angst and alienation, but instead from the unshakable confidence of a college student who thinks he knows everything. His strategic competence reframes the accusation of selling out. In 1992, Rage signed one of the most lucrative deals of the decade with Sony Music. Critics call it hypocrisy, but if you look at his background, he was raised to be effective, not just loud. He treated the band less like a garage project and more like a political campaign that required funding. He understood that a radical message in a basement has zero return on investment, but a radical message in a stadium backed by Sony's distribution yields a global return. This is the Tom Morello Paradox. It isn't that he fooled the system, but he found a way to be successful within it. He traded the raw purity of rock for leverage. The system he critiques is the same one he mastered to become an icon. He proved that anti-capitalism, when espoused by a raging capitalist, is an incredibly profitable product niche. Tom Morello may be a walking contradiction, a rich socialist, but maybe that contradiction is the point. He didn't destroy the machine, he learned how to rage with it. The 1992 self-titled debut was a commercial anomaly by hybridized metal tonality with hip-hop swing. Evil Empire debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200, effectively normalizing the sound as a radio-friendly hook. Even his transition to Audioslave in 2002 proved that his specific mechanical constraints could function within the same strict verse-chorus structure of commercial hard rock. The business strategy might be cynical, but the execution is sound. And in the spirit of maximizing revenue streams through capitalist infrastructure, I've launched my own membership. If you join now, you'll get a shout out in the credits and access to exclusive original music reviews. But I'm currently in the R&D phase for future perks. So if there's a specific perk you want to see, custom designs, guitar notation, behind the scenes videos, put it in the comments. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more rock and roll content. Peace.